What's going on YouTube? Walking Asset here, and in today's video, we're going to be going over how dividend stocks work. So let's get right into it. So first, you may be wondering, what is a dividend? So a dividend is a distribution of profits by a corporation to its shareholders. So in this situation, a corporation would be the company that you're investing in, and the shareholder would be you. So let's say that you're investing in Apple. Apple would be the corporation, and the shareholder would be you. Okay. So whenever a corporation earns a profit, it is able to pay a proportion of that profit as a dividend to its shareholders. So whenever Apple makes a lot of money, you make a portion of that profit. That's basically what a dividend is. And dividend investing is actually one of the easiest ways to build passive income. And passive income is income that requires no labor to earn or maintain. It's the best kind of income. It's money earned for like literally doing nothing. So that's that. And like over here, here's just the process of how you will receive your dividend. I'm not going to read this. You can just take a look at this. But moving on. So you may be wondering, who pays a dividend? How can you get paid a dividend? So not all companies are created equal, and not all companies offer dividend payments. And just because a company does offer a dividend payment doesn't mean that you should invest in it. So if a company offers a dividend, that doesn't mean that, okay, I'm going to buy this just because it has it. It's very important that you do your own due diligence and research before making any type of investing decision. So here are 5 companies with strong dividends that I personally invest in. If you want to go take a look at these companies, these are all pretty solid companies. I'm sure you've heard of most of these, but so one is Coca-Cola. They pay you 42 cents per share. Second is AT&T. They pay you 52 cents per share. Third is Altria, paying 86 cents per share. Fourth is Apple, paying 22 cents per share. And lastly is Simon Property Group, paying $1.30 per share. So for every share of these that you own, you're paid this amount of money. And the frequency of the dividend payment, that depends on the company. So more into that right now. So you may be wondering, when exactly are dividends paid? And the answer to that is that it depends on the company that you're investing in. So there are a couple, schedules of payment for dividends. First, we have quarterly payments, and that's you receiving your dividend once every 3 months, which is quarterly. This adds up to 4 times a year. Next, we have monthly, which is once per month. This is 12 times a year. Next, we have semi annually, which is twice a year. And lastly, we have annually, which is only once per year. So, these are the 4 different types of payout schedules that dividends offer. Most companies offer a quarterly dividend. This is what you'll see the most. So these are just some important dates to know if you're going to be investing in dividends at all. They're not very complicated, but it's important that you understand them. So first is the declaration date. And what this is basically the day that the dividend is announced. Secondly, we have the ex-dividend date. And on this date, you are no longer entitled to the dividend. More on this shortly. But so thirdly, we have the record date. So on this record date, a note is made of shareholders who held shares on the ex dividend date. And lastly, we have the payment date. And the payment date is the date that the investor receives the dividend payment. So back to this right here. So this little red period right here. If you buy shares of the company before the ex dividend date, then you are paid the declared dividend. So if you buy shares before this date, then you're you're safe to receive the company dividend. But if you buy shares after this date, then you aren't safe to receive the declared dividend. You'd have to wait until the next payout cycle. So say, we're in month 3, and like a company's about to make their ex dividend date on like March the 5th. If you wait till March the 6th, you won't receive that dividend. You'll have to wait until June to be counted again. But if you bought stock before the ex dividend date, then you are counted as a shareholder, and therefore you will receive a payout of the dividend on this payment date. So yeah, make sure that you're buying dividends before the ex dividend date. It's always safe to just buy and hold, just to make sure that you don't even have to worry about this. So yeah, those are the 4 important dates to know that are like, all you'll really like need to think about. So okay, so now let's talk about how dividends can make you wealthy. This is why we're all here, because we all want to build wealth. So let's say that you had 10,000 shares of Simon Property Group. $10,000 times $1.30 per share. That adds up to $13,000 quarterly. Now, $13,000 times 4 is equal to $52,000 annually. Now, imagine if you had 25,000 or 50,000. Now, this is why I say that dividends can make you wealthy, because with dividends, you're creating your own money tree. And this money tree, it keeps providing you money, and you don't have to do anything with it. That's the beauty of dividends, because once your payouts are big enough, you can reinvest those profits and just continue to buy. So just from you owning 10,000 shares of this one company, you're getting paid $52,000 a year just for holding. So, this is just like amazing if you like wrap your head around it and start to crunch like more numbers. Like imagine if you had 25,000 or 50,000 shares of this company, and it snowballs. So the longer you hold dividends, the more you invest in them, the better the potential payout. And that's not even the best part. So the best part is that you can pass this amazing asset down to your children, and then they can maintain and continue to grow it. So say, you're like pretty old and you accumulated 50,000 shares of Simon Property Group. However much money, that's paying you quarterly, you can just decide to hand that asset down to your kid. So like you just handed your kid an entire money tree that produces over $52,000 a year. They wouldn't have to lift a finger to work a day in their life, as long as they never sold their position in that dividend. So yeah, that's the power of dividends. They can cover your cost of living if you cultivate and take care of them long enough. So yeah, now you may be wondering, what's the point of all this? Why is this all important? So the point of this video overall is to show you that money does grow on trees, but only if you plant the right seeds for it. It takes someone to be, very brave to plant that money seed, and you may not see the fruits, but your kids will. Those in the future will thank you for, being brave enough to plant that money seed and start investing like here and the now, rather than, buying stupid expensive things, when like you could be growing this money tree asset to pass down to your kids. So yeah, again, like, you may not be immediately rewarded for it, but your future self certainly will be. And that's why I recommend like anyone watching this video to start dividend investing ASAP, as soon as possible. Because the earlier that you start, the better the benefits, the higher the payout. So like in the stock market, timing in the market is not better than time in the market. So the longer your money's working for you, the better. But yeah, that's all for today's video, everyone. If you like this video, if you learned anything, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and also check the description. And I'd highly recommend this stock market beginners bundle. You'll learn the ins and outs of stocks and options trading. Lots of value in here, and yeah, just be sure to check it out. But that's all for today. Walking Asset here, and I'm out. Peace.
Gonna just keep running away? I'm not running.